Think we're live. I did try going live a few minutes ago, but there was a lot of noise. I had to deal with that. But anyway, for those who don't know, I actually went to the best school in Kenya. The name of the school is Kapsabet Boys High School, all the way in Nandi County. The best school in Kenya by far. And I know that's subjective, and some people would call me. Uh, some people would say that there's a bit of bias because I went to Kapsabet. But really, Kapsabet is the best school in Kenya for everyone who is looking into schools that they can apply to. Yeah. But anyway, that's not the topic of my story. But it's really important that I mention that I went to Kapsabet because it's very relevant to what my experience was. So anyway, you know, the great thing about Kapsabet is that it's not just an educational institution. They teach you to be great at academics. They teach you how to pass exams and how to do well in everything, basically everything academics. But they also teach you to have a better perspective on life, to be just generally a better human being. Uh, and one of the mottos that we used to have in our dining hall for everyone who went to Kapsabet High School, we have a dining hall, and right in front of the dining hall, we have a huge uh, kind of like board that says "Be in understanding, be man." It wasn't the school motto. The school motto was "Strive to excel," but they used to tell us all the time, we gotta act like gentlemen. And so basically, every end of the semester or every end of the term, as we used to call it, they used to give us this kind of like a spreadsheet with the name on one side, and on the other side those signatures and whatnot. And so with this piece of paper, you could go ahead and conduct and serve your community. And those various things you could do. You could serve the poor. You could help out with your local government. You could go pick some litter, or you could, those various things, community activities that you could do. And at the end of when you graduated, they'd put it on your CV. It used to be a very amazing thing, and it was always optional, so you didn't have to take it. But if you wanted to get a good recommendation after you graduated, it was highly recommended. And I remember our guidance and counselors department was the one responsible for this program. Uh, Sorry, that's Siri. But anyway, at the end of the semester, they'd hand it to us. And I remember one semester during my third year, I went ahead and picked it up for the first time. I had never done this before, and I really didn't know what to do with this piece of paper because I didn't know how I could serve my community. Because when you're 15 and you're still new in life, you don't really know where you can find all these things. But anyway, I used to be from Kimumu. I'm from Kimumu in Eldoret, and during my stay there, where I used to live, I used to know there used to be a HIV/AIDS center in Kimumu, and it used to be right off California. For those who are confused, California, it's not the California state in the USA. No, no, no. In Kimumu, in Eldoret, there's a neighborhood called California. And funny enough, right next to that neighborhood called California, there's another neighborhood called Jerusalem, and there's another neighborhood called Hawaii. So this is weird. Eldoret is a very weird place, So some of us from Eldoret called Heldoret sometimes. But anyway, right off California estate, there's a road. If you know Eldoret, there's a road that leads to a neighborhood called Paris, and you go half a mile, about half a kilometer from there, and you'll find this center. I didn't at that time. I didn't know what that center was. It just said HIV/AIDS, and then it had like some statements there saying, stop stigma. So I didn't know what it was, but that day, after closing school, that holiday, I decided I should go there and maybe they'd have something to do for me. I mean, that I could help with, and then they could sign my thing. So anyway, we closed school. I remember it was August. We used to have a August holiday, and we went ahead. I went ahead to that center, and I knocked on the door, on the gate. I didn't know what to expect, but this older fella, no, a younger fella came in. He was a guy about my age, 15 years old, maybe 14, maybe a little bit older, maybe 16, maybe. And he asked me, "Hey, what do you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have this community service thing from school that I was hoping you guys could help me with." And it's like, "Yeah, sure, sure, come on in." He opens the gate, and I go in, and it was this. If I remember correctly, there were like two houses. Then there was cows and sheep, and I don't know, man. It was a very weird. I had never seen the inside of it because there was a huge gate and a wall. So I went ahead and went in, and the guy took me to the house where I met the custodian. The guy was about 50 years old, older guy, 50, 60 years old. And he was like, "Son, what do you want?" Okay, that's not what he said. Obviously, he's talking Swahili, and he was like, "Kijana, ndakusaidiaje? How can I help you?" And I explained to him, I'm here on a school project. I mean, I'm just trying to get my just do some service. If you guys have, something I can help with, if it's just washing or like cleaning windows, I can do that for free. I just need to complete this activity, so I can get my a good CV after I graduate. And the guy was like, "Sure, man." He was really friendly. He took me in, and apparently that place was an orphanage, but it wasn't just any kind of orphanage. It was an orphanage that was specifically made for those kids who had been orphaned by HIV and AIDS. HIV or AIDS, basically AIDS. Basically, all their parents had died from AIDS. And I met them. There were about 10 kids at the time. Obviously, I don't know how many there are right now, but there were 10 kids. The youngest was about 3 years old, uh, very young. I mean, he was being taken care of by the older orphans. All of them were orphans. And I don't think there were even any siblings. Most of them were just by their own. And yeah, it was really, really sad, Uh, like I said, the oldest was about 17, the youngest was 3. So they all kind of took care of each other. And, they invited me in, and we had a lot of fun. They told me about their lives. I mean, had led a very, most of them had been abandoned. Uh, I remember one of them. I can't mention the name, but he said one of his parents died. I believe his mom. He died. She died of AIDS, and after his mom died, the father just ran away, and he was rendered homeless. And this was the common story among most of them. Most of them had lost one or both of their parents to HIV. HIV is sexually transmitted, so most of the times, when one parent gets it, they tend to both get it, and maybe they didn't have access to ARVs, and this significantly decreased their life. And the saddest thing is that they all lived in this one big house, and they relied on donations and whatnot. So they didn't have a lot of money, but they used to get a lot of help from, I believe, European donors or American donors. I can't remember quite exactly, but being in that house was extremely, extremely sad because I don't know why, and I don't think this is a Kenyan norm, but on the wall, on the wall, throughout the wall was pictures, and most of these pictures were pictures of these kids and their parents, but also when they were alive, of course. But most of the pictures were actually the funerals of their parents. I've never seen anything like that. It was just so weird. Because I remember seeing the picture of these kids laying, standing right next to the coffin of their parents. And I don't know, man. That it was a very disturbing. There were many of them, not just one. Most of them were pictures, very close-up pictures showing the dead parent and the kids in this case just standing there, looking down on them. I don't know, man. Like that's not a. I've never really seen. It's not really African, to take pictures of dead bodies. So I found that to be extremely sad. But then again, I mean, that was probably the only chance they had to, keep in a memory of their parents. And like obviously, I mean, most of these children they had been abandoned by the rest of their extended family, so it was really sad. But we had a lot of fun. They were really nice. And did I mention that most of them had HIV? So probably they got it from their parents. Some of them were actually born with HIV, not born with HIV, but they just got it since they were so young, and they just live with it. But some of them didn't have HIV. So I don't know, man. It was very sad. A very sad experience, especially since I was only 15. Uh, it made me think a lot about life. It made me feel a lot more appreciative of what I had. At least I had family. I mean, these kids, all they had was each other. It's not that they were alone. I mean, they were lucky enough to have each other, but at the same time, they didn't have family. They didn't have parents. Especially this younger one, the 3-year old. Obviously, she would never grow up to have any parents or any family because they had all abandoned her. But at least they had each other, I guess. But like I said, I think about it a lot. I think about how it must be hard, really hard for to live like that. And I remember I was watching yesterday. I was watching my good friend Jamatsu Niazi, and Jamatsu Niazi was saying something about how his parents have supported him very strongly. He was using his parents' car, and he was really talking about how important family is and how lucky he feels to have family. And I think about that a lot. Growing as I grew as I've grown older, I've just come to realize how important having family and having loved ones is around. Because most people don't have it. It's something we tend to take for granted. But it's something that for some people it's not a reality. For some people, they wish they had half, even just one parent, or even half a parent. I know that's not literally possible, but yeah. I guess my message for today is, especially since we're in that festive period, we have Christmas coming up. I'd like to motivate you and challenge you. Uh, Make sure keep in touch with your family, man. Tell them you love them. Tell them you appreciate them, or just go see them, even if it's just once. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard. We have a lot. We've grown up, okay. Like we have a lot of things going on with our lives now. Some of us have kids or parents, or like. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with life as we grow older. But let's not forget family. I don't mean to sound like Don Von Diesel family, it's it's important to family is important. Yeah, that's my point. I think I've made my point. But yeah, that was interesting. I really hope when I go back to Kenya, I can go back to that place and hopefully meet them again. I know if I go back, they probably don't have the same kids. Obviously, I know orphanages. Once the kid turns 18, they bring new ones because HIV isn't going. It's still around and it's going to be around for a long time. So there's always going to be orphans. But I hope I can one day hopefully get to help them in some way. Because yeah. Yeah, that sums up my podcast for today. It's been great, amazing. I hope y'all learned a thing or two. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. But I'm not gonna end it without talking about my great supporters. So let's go ahead and do the appreciate. Let me go ahead and appreciate a few people here who have been liking my post, especially my last post. I got 22 likes, my brother. I got 22 likes on my last post. Starting with Anitota Turfosa. Thank you very much. Kiriago Leon. I used to go with this guy in Capsabet. Thank you very much, Kiriago. Mark Peters. Thank you very much. Enrico, my Cusco. Bro, I have a lot of cousins. Ernest Oma. a guy from Kapsabit. How are you doing, Omar, man? It's been a long time. Glado Kitur, thank you very much. De Lagat, thank you. Nick Mukoma, thank you. Edith Tirop, the F1 lady. I keep saying this every time. Thank you very much, Edith Tirop. Lin Chirchir, Cusco, another Cusco of mine. Thank you very much, Lin. Naserian Kulet, Kathy Misik, thank you very much. Ladasha KE. Robbie, you keep disappearing and come back, man. Thank you very much, Robbie. Robbie is from Kapsabit. And you can confirm this story, Robbie. So we went to Kapsabit together. You remember that sign-in shit. Just in case somebody says this is fiction. It's not fiction. Thank you very much, Masi Komen. Where are you watching from? Masi Komen from Kabarek University. Thank you very much. Tyrone, the great Marine. Thank you very much. Mutai Memo. Thank you. Yego Hillary, all the way from Canada. Not forgetting Moses Bet, my village mate, all the way from Senetua. But I don't know why you Moses Bet, but thank you very much for watching, man. Moses Raplaban. And thank you very much, David Wright. David Wright is my teacher, former teacher. And honorable mentions, Ariana Bigay, wonderful lady from the Navajo Nation. She's from Utah. Wonderful lady, Ariana. And last but not least, Jimatsen Yazi, man. Jimatsen Yazi. Great man. Great fellow. All the way from Blue Gap, Arizona. He's an engineer. He's a rapper. He's a videographer. YouTuber. He's a mechanic. He does everything, bro. Everything and anything. Thank you very much, Jimatsen Yazi, man. And I see you've commented there. Out of comments, man. Thank you, bro, man. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to watching more of your lives, man. Yeah, I'll be putting them on Spotify and iTunes. I'm trying to figure out a way. Yeah. Thank you very much, Amat Sinyazi, and thank you very much, everybody. This wraps up today's live. It's been 16 minutes. By the way, it's Kansas. I'm in Kansas, and it's 11:27. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to work and find some money because I need to pay bills. But anyway, it's been great. Obviously, I want to do this. I like to do this at the end of every yeah. There's some pretty cool reactions there. Yeah, till tomorrow. Peace.